This episode is sponsored by iTunes. Go to www.cheapseatreviews.com. Click on the iTunes button, purchase anything you want, and a small portion will go to this podcast.
Dear Mama, you may be wondering why I have not returned from my trip to the ice cream store. It's because I met my brothers, Ramon and Tommy, and we're trying to steal money. We need the money to give to the bad men who took Pa away to the land of the singing windmill. Tommy says it's not okay to take money from decent folks. Luckily, got the money. There's a lot of bad people here in the West.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is episode 102, and today we are talking about The Ridiculous Six. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew. Hey guys, let's play with our chest hair and eat potato chips, Jemison.
When I meet Dad, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. When I meet Dad, I'm going to tell him he's gay.
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Corny, boy, that ointment sure has lots of uses, Logan.
Guys, I was going to wait until the end of the podcast to kind of let this go, but I just want to let you know that my mom is a black, so I just want to let you know I'm actually, black. I didn't know if you guys knew, but just want to make sure you knew now.
Well,
before we go forward.
Thank you for telling us that. I know that was hard for you to share, Corny.
Yeah. I never would have thought.
And I do remember. I will say this, Corny. Remember back about episode like 13 or 14, and someone emailed the show and was like, "I just realized that Corny's black, and now all the jokes are even funnier," or something like that. So, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Those are good times. And Sam, I didn't know Lloyd Christmas was in the Old West. Vector.
Good job, Herm.
Yeah. Hey, Herm, what are you good at? You actually sound like Chad. Thank you, Herm. So pull up a comfy chair and let's dive into this show. This is Ridiculous Six. This is Adam Sandler's attempt to do a Western. Basically, Adam Sandler was like, "Hey guys, everyone that's ever been in a movie with me, ever, why don't you come and do a cameo in my movie, and I'll pay you a little money and it'll be fun.
Have a bunch of alcohol probably and have a lot of fun, and no one really has to act. You just kind of come and show up."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And everyone I think said, "Sure, boss, that sounds fun. You've gotten us all work in the past. That sounds pretty dandy." I mean, about the only person that wasn't in this movie was Bob Barker.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
So
And Damon Wayans?
He was only, but that was that one-off, I mean,
oh yeah, that's true.
Bob Barker was a one-off too. But
Well, they couldn't get Bob Barker out of the nursing home. He's in the same one though as Nick Nolte, so that,
old people jokes. Those are nice. So Ridiculous Six. Well, what is Ridiculous Six? Well, fortunately, Andrew found a microphone and was able to send me this stuff.
When I see Pa, I'm gonna scream, "Go dang, you're the handsomest man, and you're really, really good. I love you, Pa, and I'm glad you're my Pa. Why do I have 3 nipples?"
Yippee-yo-yo-yay, when we meet Dad. Yippee-yo-yo-yay, why does he have 3 nipples?
Okay, well.
I really felt that summed up the movie probably better than anything I could read. But
Actually,
just in case people still are curious, an outlaw who is raised by Native Americans discovers that he has 5 half-brothers, and together the men go on a mission to find their wayward deadbeat dad.
Thank you. So let's just go ahead and address the big elephant in the room. This is Taylor Lautner's best acting job I've ever seen.
I laughed at him so much. I totally bit it as a character.
They're like, all right, Taylor, okay, we want you to do half Forrest Gump and the other half Lloyd Christmas. There you go.
Dang.
Right? I mean,
bang.
That's what he did. I mean, that's the whole time. That's all he did. Oh. And I have actually seen several other Taylor Lautner movies besides just those Twilight things, and he's terrible. He's genuinely terrible. Though
there's a moment in this film that I had to go close the door because I was laughing too hard, dealing with him swinging from a rope.
Yeah. I told y'all I had a strong neck.
Oh my gosh.
Before we do our intros, I just want to go ahead and say it. He was my favorite part of the movie. And
I think we can all agree on that.
And it's not just because he was, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was mentally handicapped. But it was just the randomness of him. And like, I don't know. It was silly and funny. A lot of the other jokes I fell flat for me. But anyway, this was the first time for all 4 of us, right?
Indeed.
Absolutely.
No.
Really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
When I saw it come on Netflix, I thought, hey, there is nothing else that I have to do in my life right now. So why not? So I watched it about a month ago when it came out on Netflix.
All right. Well, all right. So I'll ask you this then. Is it as funny this time as it was the first time? Did it hold up for you?
There were a few things that I thought were funnier this time that maybe I missed the first time, or like the rope and the jumping out of the building without knives and just falling into it. But yeah, I guess it held up. I don't know.
All right. So just keep expounding on that with your kind of initial thoughts for the movie as we do our intros.
Well, I used to be a really big Adam Sandler fan, especially in high school and middle school, and that was the Happy Gilmore days.
Yeah.
And the
Billy Madison,
that stuff. And back then it was stupid funny, and it's still stupid funny, and it's almost gotten stupider funny, or more stupid, whatever the correct.
More stupider, I think, would be appropriate.
More stupider,
for this particular movie.
And it's just, I don't know. I mean, some parts of it were funny, and I laughed out loud, but there were some that just, like you said, fell flat and missed the mark for me.
All right, Corny.
With it being a Sandler movie, I had my expectations of what I was going to see, and at some point in time, I thought I might see poop, and I was not. I was not let down.
He called his shit poop. Yeah.
But I got to be honest with you, the moment Taylor Lautner showed up, I thought it kind of got a little sour for me. I mean, it was still funny. I just wish it would have been someone else other than him. I think with the cast you had, I think you could have found someone else instead of him. Well, it's funny him doing that, but I think you could have found someone else to do that. And but the movie it was funny in parts. I laughed here and there. I don't think it kept the same type of the same type of pacing you get in a Billy Madison or a Happy Gilmore type of movie. But the things that made me laugh, I didn't expect coming, and so I don't know. I have a mixed bag on this movie.
Okay. All right. Sam?
I'm with I guess Andrew over here in terms of loving the old Sandler stuff. And the old Sandler stuff had some heart to it. The Billy Madisons, the Water Boys, they're characters you rooted for. And in this one, I guess you were supposed to root for his character, but I never really cared about him. Like you mentioned, the Taylor Lautner character, and I loved Rob. Is it Rob? Reiner?
Rob Schneider.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider's character with the burro, and him thinking, what was it? He thought he was half
Swedish.
Half Swedish. But the characters themselves, as they're meeting him, it just, they are a ridiculous six. Terry Crews cracked me up. But here's the problem with this movie. I laughed a lot, but there was a lot of down, dead time where there was a lot of flat jokes. This movie was almost 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way too long.
You cut 20, 30 minutes out of this movie, and you cut out some of the bad jokes.
Okay.
And this would have been amazing.
Cut out the baseball scene.
Completely
Holy cow!
agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we didn't need that at all.
Yeah. Sam knows my non-affinity for baseball. I don't particularly like baseball as a sport. I think it's slow and boring and whatever. And watching that scene made me chuckle because I kind of see how I'm sitting there watching going, I wonder if they all don't like baseball either because they're ripping the sport basically because there's just like every rule that there is, he just makes up on the spot because it's convenient to do so. And I thought that guy actually kind of sounds like how baseball was invented. But you're right. That whole scene was painful. And did you guys know that there was a scene at the end of the credits?
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't stop.
I did. Well,
oh Lord!
Since I've missed the last three ones,
it's just the Chinese base. It's the baseball players doing 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? And then I don't know what they said, so I didn't try to. I should have captured it just so I could do the game of what did they say.
I'm sure it was nothing racist.
A bunch of Chinese guys saying something. I'm sure it had nothing to do with race at all.
I guess, it's still me. So you cut the movie, get it a little shorter, and you get some help with the writing.
Yeah.
This to me was Adam Sandler was trying to do a Blazing Saddles, and trying to not, basically not be PC and be funny that way. And there are some where you kind of cringe at the jokes, like, did you need to do that? Yeah. And I don't know, is the Adam Sandler crude humor just, is it gone? Are we a different people than we were back in the 90s when his other stuff was coming out? I don't know. But a lot of it fell flat, and a lot of the funniest parts for me were the physical jokes. Not the mentally handicapped jokes or the Indian jokes or the Mexican jokes or the Chinese jokes or the what other jokes could we throw in there?
Well, the white man jokes.
White man jokes. It's just, yeah. All right. Anyway,
yeah.
I had fun with it, but there was of the 20 30 minutes he could have cut out, really lowered my score for it.
That's fair.
How about you, Sean?
I'm with, I think all 4 of us kind of agree that somewhere along the way, Adam Sandler has lost the magic of whatever it was that made Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison great, because those movies are dumb. They're real dumb. I mean, we watched Happy Gilmore for this show, and it's a dumb movie, but we like it, and it's funny, and for whatever reason, the jokes work, and they worked for us at 30, not just at 16. Well,
think about it. I say I think that one of the differences is in that movie versus this one is that everything led to another joke. There was almost either it was a sweet moment, and then that sweet moment was immediately there's a joke at it, in it. But there was never a point in time where you're like, well, this is kind of pointless.
Yeah, and that might be true. Yeah, there may be something that I don't disagree with that at all, actually.
But that would be with writing, though, wouldn't it?
But
in terms of the writing was a little more spot on for those than this one, where it just felt disjointed.
Yeah. At times.
Yeah. It also just I don't know, like I truly the last kind of successful comedy that he's done is I actually liked oh crap, what's it called? Grown Ups. The first one. I haven't seen the second one. I kind of like Grown Ups. It's okay. Holy crap, Kevin James wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I noticed
wow.
I just realized that. Actually, Hotel Transylvania is actually kind of fun too.
But is that a Sandler movie?
Yeah.
Other than his voice, did he write it?
I think he did. He just
Did
wrote
he
it.
really?
He just did it for PG. I think he has writing credits on that. I'm gonna go check.
I love Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
You keep going.
too.
I'll do the checking.
Okay. I mean, like my son likes watching that. He's 3, but he just likes it because
and my girls,
the monsters are
and they're
funny.
girls.
Yeah. So I like Hotel Transylvania. So there's he certainly has still some of it there.
Wow.
No,
I don't know.
He is not credited with writing Hotel.
Oh well, then
Yeah.
I saw the.
and then maybe that's why it's good.
Oh, damn.
I saw the Pixels movie, and that was terrible.
That's what
I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah, a lot of people said that, and which made me kind of sad because like that movie was designed to like it was geared towards us, like literally
Right.
like aimed directly at us with a big, Nintendo blaster.
And all the rights that they were able to secure for the
Right. I mean,
characters and
if nothing, just for the sound effects alone, I mean, those were genuine like Pac-Man sound effects and Donkey Kong sound effects and stuff. Like that probably cost more than almost anything else in the movie.
Mhm.
Actually, I wonder if they just hired Michael Winslow and just give him a mic.
Yeah, maybe.
it would fit with the 80s theme.
He's still doing something around, I guess.
Oh, there's a pretty bitchin' video of him doing guitar while someone else plays guitar on some British show. Did I just say bitchin'? I did,
Are
didn't
you
I?
allowed to say
You
that
did.
and not be from the Northwest?
It's me.
What's up with that, brah?
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, I still haven't captured that out. Man, I forgot to do that. I was gonna do that this week, and I forgot.
Yet no one is sad.
Yeah. Well.
Well, here's the question: they keep throwing money at Sandler to do these films.
Oh my gosh, no joke.
At what point is it going to dry up?
Here's what I'm actually kind of waiting for, honestly, and maybe it will never happen, and that might be okay. But I'm actually kind of waiting for that director to come along with something else and say, Sam, we want you to come and do our movie, and it's like a serious action movie, and we need you to lose some weight and get ripped, and we need you to, you know what I'm saying? We need you to be the next Chris Pratt, only you're 50 now or whatever. But like, I kind of want to see. I want to see the next Bulletproof. Like I want to see another action movie in that Adam Sandler does, because Bulletproof is the only action movie he's ever done. I guess maybe Pixels would count. I don't know how much action is in it. I've never seen it. And there's a little bit of magic action in this where he can run with his hands.
He's jumping down buildings and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know. I kind of feel like, and that probably was a thing that could never happen.
Yeah.
Because he's done some serious movies. I mean, Spanglish was actually pretty good.
Punch Drunk Love was pretty good.
Click.
Click.
That's a comedy though.
Oh, I kind of thought it was.
I hate Click.
Well,
It had some moments, but I mean, they're having sex with they calling having dog sex, or doggy style. They call it the bear because the dog humps the bear. I mean, like there's, you know what I'm saying? Like there's, so yeah, but Christopher Walken's in it, so I guess that's always cool. But, so
and the Hoff.
I don't know. Yeah, and the Hoff, yeah. So I don't know, but like remember.
So you're looking for a resurgence of Sandler.
Yeah,
you're looking for the second, not second chance, but kind of like some of our other.
Yeah.
Who else would have qualified for that? I guess Travolta.
Well, I
kind
mean,
of had a. resurgence, and
Has he? I guess I don't know. I mean,
he did.
I
don't think it. I think it's gone. I think Swordfish took it.
No. I mean, he did From Paris with Love after Swordfish, and that's actually an okay movie where he's doing the thing where it's trendy to be an old white dude and do an action movie now. You know, Liam Neeson was kind of the first one with Taken, and then everyone jumped on the bus.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
To be
Harrison
fair,
Ford, what?
Harrison Ford, Air Force One.
He was an old white dude. I mean, he was he was like 50. Like Liam Neeson was like 60 when he did Taken.
Yeah, but I think Harrison Ford played an older. I don't know. I would have to say Air Force One was kind of a actiony Harrison Ford older guy.
Yeah, I still kind of think Taken was the first in that genre because like after Taken.
Well, yeah, and then what's his name? Not Keanu Reeves. Kevin Costner tried
Clint
his.
Eastwood.
Yeah, Kevin Costner did 3 Days to Kill, and and then we saw November Man with Pierce Brosnan, and then Paris with Love with John Travolta.
What about 15 Blocks with our boy Bruce Willis?
Well, that came. I was gonna actually just say the last Die Hard movie.
Yeah.
So like that. That's
I didn't watch that.
I have it on DVR. I've not seen it because everyone said don't.
It's not. It's.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah,
I'm
not really.
But you kind of feel committed after all this time.
I kind of do. Like I feel like it's kind of one of my favorite franchises, and I feel obligated to watch it, but I just haven't found the time. I mean, no, that's not true. I've had time. I've just not cared enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do I want to watch another 2 episodes of Voyager or that Die Hard movie?
That's how I was with The Hobbit, the third movie of The Hobbit.
Have you not seen it? I had it
on my DVR. No, I had it on my DVR for months and months and months, and finally sat down and watched it, and was disappointed like everybody else.
That movie is painful too.
It is horrible.
It's just bad.
Oof.
I don't know what happened. Like that's another guy who lost the magic. You know, it's like, I mean, I know that New Line Cinema and whoever else was like, here's gobs and gobs of money to do The Hobbit. You know, and so he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna ruin the hell.
I don't know. From what I've heard, it was all about lack of time, where he had years to prepare for Lord of the Rings, and months to do Hobbit, where they were actually shooting on set without any prior camera directions, or I mean, he was just winging it basically, and you could tell in that third movie.
Yeah. Well, they're all kind of bad. They have moments of goodness, but I bet you there's a way we could cut, maybe not we as on you, the 4 of us, but you could cut those 3 movies down to 1 3-hour movie, and it would be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's between Smaug and Bilbo is pretty cool. And
you know what's actually better than that scene is watching Benedict Cumberbatch play Smaug.
Oh, when you see him himself
when he's doing the motion capture?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's so awesome, and I'm like, wow, can I just watch you in a suit instead of the dragon? Because
little dots all over your face.
Because he's so good, he's just so into it, and you could just see him as a dragon. But you know what movie he wasn't in, and that was Ridiculous 6.
Yeah. But they did have burrows.
They did have burrows. I have several clips of the burrow.
Burro.
Or actually, I think I only have one. Yeah, I only have the one clip of the burrow.
Rob Schneider makes a great Mexican.
He actually did. And I was
going
to say, like,
he actually does every impression that he does is pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Like the Asian from Chuck and Larry, that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed my butt off on that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was disappointed that he didn't say "You can do it." Like that's his thing in Adam Sandler's movies. Like
that's very true.
I was waiting for him to do that. Like at any point, he had to say it, but he didn't, and I was kind of upset.
Maybe he snuck it in there. We didn't notice.
I was listening for it. I mean, that's like my 3rd note.
Where's my "You can do it"?
Okay, it's my 12th note. If he says "you can do it," I'm gonna lose it. That's what I wrote.
Gold dang.
So
gold dang.
That is weird to have Taylor Lautner though. Like, how did he fit in the team?
Well, I'm thinking in the
me
mind
Norm
of Adam
Macdonald.
Sandler and his
Norm
boys.
is in this movie.
What?
The hell?
Norm Macdonald's in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
What?
I
How
remember
the hell did I
seeing
miss
him.
that?
Well, I mean,
Wasn't he? Was he? He wasn't Mark Twain.
No. Mark Twain was freaking iced tea or vanilla
Ice
ice.
Cube. Or a Vanilla Ice, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, that was actually my favorite character.
Yeah, he was actually kind of great, and I may have captured some of him too.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
No, but seriously, who was Norm Macdonald? How did I miss him?
He basically was just. Damn it, where is he? He basically was just it's just a voiceover kind of a thing, but he was on screen. Now I gotta find him and see if he had a name.
anyway, as I was saying with
Yeah,
Taylor
sorry.
Lautner and the selection, I could see Adam Sandler and his boys, writing this, coming up with the character. Who can we get that's just plays mentally handicapped and a little feminine? What kind of manly actor can we get? And they couldn't afford anybody but Taylor Lautner.
He was Nugget customer. That's just what it says
Oh, in the bar.
in the bar. Yeah,
That's right. Wasn't he telling him about the people with their thumbs?
maybe that. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
That
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
been
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's weird. I don't know. The only way Taylor Lautner gets in this movie is if he's friends with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
They must have become friends somehow over the last little while. Is this the first time Terry Crews has been in an Adam Sandler movie?
I think so.
Wasn't he in the Chuck and Larry movie as a fireman?
Oh, I don't know. You have to tell me.
Yeah, I think he was.
He got second billing. I'm looking it up real quick. Expendables 3. He voiced Blade in Hulk and the Agents of Smash. I actually kind of like that a lot.
I think it's hilarious when they were all in the pond and Terry Crews is the only one with the shirt off.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. I didn't know he was in Terminator Salvation. Like, that's a actual...
Big movie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like... I don't know. What am I trying to say? Like, it's not a comedy, Like, it's an action kind of a thing. Well, he was in Click as singing driver. Cheeseburger Eddie in Longest Yard, duh. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot about that one with Adam Sandler.
I actually liked that movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But he wasn't acting dumb in that one, though.
No.
He was.
Yeah.
He wasn't this weird, dumb character.
Oh, Corny, you there?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Are you in the bathroom? What's going on?
I've been eating pizza for the last 10 minutes, and I moved my mic to eat.
It was just funny. Corny just like, yeah, I remember that movie over there. Like, oh, where'd you go? Okay.
Courtney, close the door. We can smell it.
It smells like victory.
I actually do like The Longest Yard. That's actually an okay one. But yeah, it's not. But it's got some dumb humor in it. But it's and it's got your typical Adam Sandler kind of cast of guys. With the addition of Chris Rock and, well, of course they're buddies and what's his name? The wide receiver from Dallas Cowboys is in it. And,
Michael Irvin.
Yeah, and
Okay.
some other people. So anyway, Bill
Actually,
Romanowski is in it. And he's crazy. He's a crazy guard.
I was gonna say I'd like to thank Adam Sandler for his motivation that sent Appalachian to their first national championship that year.
Well, he mentioned that was the that movie came out after.
Oh, they came out with the first one after
I
the.
think it was either after the first one or after the when we beat Michigan.
No, it was before Michigan.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's okay. Yeah, 2005. Actually, yeah, so it was before all of them, right? Anyway,
Suck it, son.
no, hey, whatever.
I almost said Sam instinctively.
That's great. Steve
I was
Zahn.
like,
So, I think I'm trying to put words into sentences, which is how you talk. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to actually say is like, this movie to me, now that we're kind of picking it apart a little bit, this actually movie is one of those movies where the parts are greater than the sum. You know what I'm saying? You know how like the phrase is the sum is greater than the parts or something like that? Like usually you use that analogy like for football teams or something like that. But like I think in this case, the individual moments are better than the movie. Like Steve Zahn's character is hilarious with his screwed up eye, and he pops out his good eye to be in the left eye gang without getting any proof that all of the other dudes had removed their eyes, which we all saw, coming from a mile away. We all knew that none of them pulled their eyes out, but for some reason they made Steve Zahn do it.
But I love the fact the shadow. Shadow on the wall.
God.
And he pulled it and it snapped like a rubber band. And I like Steve Zahn. I think he's funny. And they left him to guard the girl, and he's like aiming the gun at like some post, and he's talking like she's there, and she just leaves. Like that stuff. That stuff is funny.
Yes, but there is a ton of funny stuff in this movie. The problem is the dead parts. There's so many dead jokes.
Yeah. Again, baseball.
The baseball scene was painful. You know what else was painful? Adam Sandler was painful. I couldn't stand to listen to the guy talk.
I couldn't either.
I was actually okay with that.
Like, you know what it reminded me of? And I don't think I put it in my notes, but it really reminded me of when you guys were pretending to do a Keanu Reeves from Constantine. Like, that's what it reminded me, just with a Texan accent or whatever. Like, no, man, I'm pretty sure your mom was Mexican. Like, that's like, are you Keanu Reeves? That's what it sounded like to me. Or was it was another impression you guys were trying to do that turned into Keanu Reeves. I can't remember what it was, but
there's I guess my pretty poor attempt at Liam Neeson.
That's what it was. You guys were doing your Liam Neeson for Darkman, and it turned into Keanu Reeves, which
what I have is a particular set of skills with knives.
Right. The knife bit was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of whatever. Like when he's doing, but he did this. It's a trope, right? He does the gag where he's unweaponing himself. He takes 2 knives and then another knife and another knife and then the hatchet from somewhere and then the sword from somewhere. Like it's a funny gag, but we've seen that gag like 3 times. I mean, we saw it in Pirates of the Caribbean 3 when Elizabeth Swann pulls out like a shotgun from somewhere.
A bag of holding.
There's that
Any other
gag
nerds
is
know what I meant?
that gag has been used.
Is it the same bag they sent to the Oregon militia people?
The bag of dildos, you mean?
Still one of the greatest articles I read after a podcast.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
Oh, I love it.
So anyway, so speaking of Steve Zahn, I'm going to play our first clip of the night.
So, what can I do you for? Need some flour, 5 sacks, and a carrot with peanut butter on it. What's that gonna run me? Well, a sack of flour is 45 cents. So, 5 sacks is 4. Want to get back to me on that? Yeah. Look, the flour's in the basement. You can fetch it yourself.
I just thought that was kind of funny.
Adam Sandler's character was the least funny character in this movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was. In fact,
this is not the only movie that's that way. More and more his movies are becoming that way. He's less of the main focus and less of the funny guy, and everybody else in the movie is, stealing the show.
Right. I thought,
because it's so bad.
I thought that way. Did you see Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yes, I did. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I like that movie.
Well, you like it because Dave Matthews is the bad guy.
No, because it was just funny. For me, it was funny. And it does help that Dave Matthews is in said movie. But
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the same thing, right, Corny? Like, that's the same kind of concept where everyone else around Adam Sandler is funny, and Adam Sandler's character, he really isn't that funny.
He's just, okay, so in the Zohan, or Don't Mess with the Zohan, he's got this ridiculous set of powers, essentially.
Yeah.
And he is, I guess he's the main focus in terms of what he does is absolutely crazy. He sleeps with every woman's hair, every woman after he does their hair.
Yeah.
For
Young,
me,
old,
that's still,
hot, whatever. Like everyone, he bangs.
Sleeps with their hair.
No,
Yes,
he doesn't do that.
No, sorry. For me, he's still the focus of that movie.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Andrew. That's not what you're saying. What I think you're saying is that not that he's not the focus, is that he's just not the funniest.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you don't put Eddie Murphy in the movie unless he's gonna be funny.
Right.
You know, like Eddie
Unless
Murphy
it's,
is the funniest part of the Shrek movies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Indeed.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so
No, and at least 80% of his appearances in the Ridiculous Six, I could have done without.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does he do? He just stands there all slumpy and talks like this. He has no emotion.
It's like a horrible Batman Western.
I mean, yeah, that's a good example of it.
I honestly, no,
I could have used 25% more of Taylor Lautner and Rob Schneider just having conversations with each other.
And the donkey crapping.
Or Rob Schneider talking to the
Imagine
burro.
the road trip comedy with those two.
My gosh, this kind of was a road trip. Now that you think about it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Golly gee, your bureau is so cute.
One of my favorite clips is coming up here in a few minutes about the burrow. It just made I laughed out loud. Now I will say this: the poop joke with the burrow, I kind of saw coming, but I didn't expect it to be as explosive as it was, and I chuckled a little bit. But of course, as soon as that asshole banker, got behind him, and you're like, oh, you know where this is going. But he leans over, he's like, wait for it.
Yeah.
Not yet.
And then he's like,
not yet.
Now. And that was pretty funny.
My favorite part was when it was, yeah, that is a dry one. That means we have dry weather.
Yeah. Like the donkey predicts the weather with his poop. Oh, like that stuff was actually kind of funny. Again, like,
Or then
it's
sad
that
shooting.
Hold on, don't get to that one yet.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
That's the part that's gonna make you come up in a minute in the show. But like, we're laughing at the jokes about the burrow more than anything Adam Sandler did in the movie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
none of us have said, "Oh, this funny scene with Sandler was the best part." No,
in fact,
it wasn't.
I captured the only funny thing he did in the movie. Seriously, I captured it, and it ain't that funny. I mean, truly, it's not that funny. It's the punchline to the setup, which is kind of funny, but his delivery is still kind of bad. I'll play that one later, but anyway, so we were talking about racism earlier. Well, here's a little bit of it right now. But in fairness, this racism is actually kind of totally deserved.
What?
This is Frank Stockburn. He is filled with lies, just like every other white man.
Sometimes the white man speaks the truth, like 1 in 20, 25 times. I believe this is one of those times.
Like, I actually kind of get that. You're like, well, that's fair. The natives kind of hate us because we were horrible people back then. And by we, I mean American, not just.
Now, here's a question.
I was like, wait, not us. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm stealing some of your trivia thunder.
What trivia? There was like 5 pieces of trivia.
A bunch of Native American actors declined to be in this film after signing on because they felt that it was degrading to Native Americans.
Is that in the trivia on IMDb?
I've read that a long time ago. Somewhere.
I was like, that's not in.
But I didn't think they made fun of Native Americans too much, other than
Adam
the naming.
Sandler's character, to me, was offensive. Just the way he was portraying and the terrible accent, and I thought, come on,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it's offending the least in this movie. But I just didn't seem to me like they were really making too much fun of Native Americans. Or portraying them in very negative lights.
Well, I mean...
Well, their names were nice.
Yeah, their names were kind of...
Never wears bra.
Yeah, like Raccoon Breath. How did he know my name? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was some... there it is, the controversy. In April 23rd of 2015, the Indian Country Today Media Network reported that approximately a dozen Native actors and actresses, as well as the Native Cultural Advisor, left the set of Adam Sandler's newest film, The Ridiculous Six, in protest of its portrayal of the Apache culture.
See, look at that.
The New York Daily News later reported that there were only 4 who left out of over 100 Native American actors on set. Well, that's because they were getting paid.
Yeah.
Navajo Nation tribal members Lauren Anthony and film student Allison Young said they left because they felt the film portrayed Native Americans in a negative light and took satire too far. They also complained that the portrayal of women was degrading. Well, yeah. Netflix responded saying, quote, "The movie has ridiculous in the title for a reason, because it's ridiculous. It is a broad satire of Western movies and the stereotypes they popularized. Well, that was hard to say. Featuring a diverse cast that is not only part of, but in on the joke," end quote. So, and that's true. I get that. But that still doesn't mean that it's still not a little offensive. But that's obviously part of the point, right? I mean, that's the point, because they're not just making fun of. They're kind of poking fun at the Native Americans for their but I think they're more poking fun at Westerns as a genre and how we used to kind of make fun of natives. I mean, they say Indians, like that's an old thing to say, and I think they're kind of making fun of the white folk back then and how they treated Native Americans. I don't necessarily think it was them being mean to the Native Americans. But again, we also made fun of, everybody else. Mostly the butt of the jokes were white people, but that's fine. You can make fun of white people if you want to, because it's true. Speaking
I
of,
heard sorry, I was gonna say there's a comedian that I heard making jokes about white people. Like, yeah, you can make jokes about them because, in all honesty, what does it matter? Your life's gonna be okay when you're all done.
Yeah, that's what Chris Rock says, right in the Longest Yard. I can even get you Prozac. I don't understand why you white people are so depressed. Relax, smile. You're white. I like Chris Rock. This is a trope. It's when you get old people saying funny things, and the fact that he's Native American is also kind of funny too.
Well, that was uncool.
I'm glad Chad showed up for this episode.
I'm just glad they didn't have him swear. Because usually that's what it is. I know I've used this example a bunch of times, but Betty White is my favorite example of in Lake Placid. Andrew, have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I've seen it.
The best line in the only reason why you should watch the movie, there's 2 reasons why. The first reason why is when Betty White says to the cop, "I hope the alligator wins," and then he says something else, and she said, "If I had a dick, I would tell you to suck it." The second reason why you should watch the movie is an alligator attacks and eats a helicopter. So, that's really the only 2 reasons why you should watch that movie. Just saying. So that's a trope, but that's okay. I will say this: Smoking Fox, she kind of was, but she was also in. She was also in the Twilight movies, which is kind of funny. So we had 2 people in the Twilight movies in this movie. It's kind of funny. I also like the joke with the little kid with the hatchet. Do you guys see that? Like every time something would happen, this child would hold up a hatchet. That was pretty funny. Yes, more poop jokes. All right, I gotta play it just because we keep joking about the burrow, and every time Sam's little dialogue box on Skype pops up, it's a picture of a burrow. So here it comes, the burrow.
Jackass.
Oh, the burrow's gonna be pissed. You're doing bueno, burro. Don't be intimidated by the horse. You're just as good as him.
So I'm gonna have to capture.
Oh, the burrow's gonna be pissed.
I gotta keep that forever. I don't know why I'll ever need that again, but I will find use for it.
Oh, I love those characters. I love the.
Oh, the burrow's gonna be pissed.
It's just so funny.
Burrow.
I really think what this is coming down to is Sandler writes, assuming he wrote all. I don't know how much he wrote, but the gags in this movie are great gags, and he should be writing for sketch comedy on Saturday Night Live, or I think that's where he got his start, and that's what he's good at.
Doing bits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this movie is just a bunch of bits put together.
Unfortunately, they don't seem together, which I think is what Sam's point was earlier. It's like there's not a lot of continuity, there's not a lot of flow to it,
right?
Other than the burrow. And
yeah,
then,
like the baseball is a bit. That whole scene is a bit,
which could have been completely erased.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, the bit that we liked was the bank robbery. that bit was pretty funny, and then the thievery of the town by the hanging bit with Taylor Lautner, which was kind of funny too. So here's
and then they were gonna catch him in the wagon.
Yeah, they missed. So he just grabbed him by the rope and just kept dragging. Told y'all I had a strong neck. But did you guys notice there's a couple of things I noticed. So they said they're gonna only rob bad people. Yeah. But the two bad guys that robbed the train, they just robbed them. They're still technically robbing the train.
I know.
Like you took innocent money from innocent people from bad guys. But I guess it's whatever.
They weren't the smartest of six.
No.
They were, in fact, ridiculous.
Just like the Left Eye Gang.
God, the Left Eye Gang. I will say that the bit when they were buried up to their necks and each one had their own torture happening.
And the ants.
The one with the snake. Oh my God, the snake is like rubbing up against him and licking him, and like it's like the snake is just thinking all the terrible things I'm gonna do to you, and then the bird comes up and like pecking him in the side of the head. Like each one had their own personal hell, which was
third
really
lizard
funny.
in the nose, man.
Oh. Like, I immediately started sneezing. It was so.
Again, bits that were funny.
Yes.
I thought that the Harvey Keitel's character was pretty funny too. Smiley, yeah.
Oh, and the decapitation, the accidental.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming at all. That was kind of funny.
No, that actually, I laughed. I think a little too hard at that situation. Look, he's still smiling.
Yeah, and he goes around, and he keeps shooting whatever,
and that turns into a joke with Herm.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna cry now. And in the song, hey Herm, do the headless guy. Oh, and they all start laughing again. See, the song was funny, and you can tell Adam Sandler wrote the song. Like, you know, like if you remember back when he was in his 20s, and he had a CD, and he had songs like "Piece of Shit Car," and he had a bunch of other like.
Hey, goats!
Lunch Ladyland or whatever that.
Oh yeah.
Sloppy
Joe, sloppy Joe.
Yeah, those were funny, and like you can tell that he wrote that. But yippee-yo-yay. Why do I have 3 nipples? Thank you, Andrew, for that song.
You're welcome.
This is a direct correlation to Corny's intro. Not that part. This one. Maybe. Here we go.
So do you and the brothers have any special skills?
Not that one either. Hold on.
I know Dad is a white man, but my mother was actually black. So that technically makes me half black.
Is that right?
Well, I didn't want to hide that from you in case you guys slipped up and made some racial slurs, not knowing I wasn't 100% white.
I mean, I knew she must have been really muscular, but I had no idea she was black.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now that you mention it, I see it a little bit. My mother's Swedish.
I don't think so. I reckon she's Mexican.
Lying bitch.
You know, I kind of wonder if that's the line that he was given, or that's the line Rob Schneider just went with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just made that part up. You know, just my mother's Swedish. No. All right, I teased it earlier. Are you ready for the only joke Adam Sandler says in the movie?
Indeed.
All right. And again, this is basically just continuing that same scene, but that scene was one of the funnier moments. But the end is the punchline that Sandler gets to deliver. But again, the delivery is so bad that it's not that funny. But anyway, here it is. No more whatever. Here's the line.
So do you know, brothers, have any special skills that could help us out here tonight?
Like what?
Like, Tommy's good with knives. Little Pete's got a bonus nipple. I got a burrow. Herm is good at strangling. Huh?
I can hold my breath for 6 minutes.
Well, I can play the piano with my dick.
Well, we're unstoppable then.
All right.
That's it.
That's the punchline. And it's a funny punchline if it would have been delivered better. Because it's funny because those are all fairly seemingly useless skills.
Now, if Bruce Willis had said that, it would have been, amazing.
Right.
Or if you got an Adam Sandler do his, oh, that's just great.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of missed that part about him. I don't know. I think I mentioned it when we watched The Rundown. There's a movie called Last Boy Scout, I think. No, Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis. And they get Christopher Walken to play a bad guy, but they don't let Christopher Walken be Christopher Walken.
Oh.
The whole time he talks like this. My name's Hickey, and I had a thing, and Bruce Willis is the back. Like the whole time he talks like that. And you're like, why do you get Christopher Walken to be in your movie if you don't let him be Christopher Walken? So it's kind of the same thing. Like you get Adam Sandler. This is his movie. Why don't you let him be Adam Sandler? I guess maybe they thought that a man raised by Apache wouldn't talk like this. Ooh,
But I would have accepted that though with the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. So the scene that we keep hating on, here's 47 seconds of it.
Welcome, my friends, to the first ever playing of a new sport. A sport of my own devising.
I'm going to pause real quick. If this would have been the 47 seconds you're about to hear, would have been the whole bit, I think I actually would have been better with it than another 10 minutes of it. Anyway.
On this field, 2 10-person teams will engage in a battle of... Yes, Keith?
Only 18 people here.
2 9-person teams will engage in a battle of strength, speed, and strategy. One team will go out onto the field to play defense, while the other team will take turns hitting this ball with a sticky.
What are you going to call this game?
What else? Sticky McSchnickens.
Right.
And then that goes on for
another 10 minutes. And that's the funniest part of that whole bit. I mean, maybe it's kind of funny when he's like, you got to try 2 times, and he does it 2 times. He's like, okay, next, and he's like, no, I'm in 3 strikes. You got to give me 3, and then he just kind of arbitrarily makes up the rules. I mean, that was kind of chuckle moments, but even for me, again, a guy who doesn't really like baseball, I was like, okay, let's move on.
It was like a bad Saturday Night Live skit that you just kind of have to trudge through to get to the next one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the last one I captured, which I think is actually kind of funny, was Vanilla Ice as Mark Twain.
Hello!
Well, General Custer.
Yes, at your service.
Mr. Mark Twain.
Word up.
Gentlemen, do come in.
Yo, Zeke, big boy, I was just going off to the general here about my new book. It's a sequel to Tom Sawyer.
Oh, it's about Sawyer's home slice, Huckleberry Finn. White boy goes rafting with a brother. People gonna lose their shit.
I thought that's kind of funny. Vanilla Ice needs to be in more things. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes. Actually, the sighting of a Vanilla Ice always makes a movie just a little better.
He was in. Did you guys ever see that ridiculous movie called The New Guy with
Yes.
DJ Qualls? He's the bouncer at like a what was those record stores back in the day before they became FYE? They were something else. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They were in the mall, and I think that's literally like where you went to buy your CDs.
Tape Town?
What?
Huh? What?
I don't care about your freaky Minnesotan pastimes here.
We went down there to Tape Town to go get our cassettes and
to get your 8-track
stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, it was something like
Your Rick
that.
Trollers and whatnot.
He's trying to. Sam, it's funny. So I was doing. We were doing interviews at work today for another full-time position, and the guy that we were interviewing is from Columbia, South Carolina. And I mean, like, Columbia can be farther deep, deep south more than even like Alabama and sometimes. And he made the joke that he's like, yeah, whenever I go back there, I find myself diving back into that accent. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's real. Because Sam does that when he goes back home to Minnesota. Like, he starts getting into that whatever, that accent.
Midwestern Northern accent, eh?
Right. And then you have to like think about not doing it again when you come back home. And he was saying that he's like, man, when I come back, I have to enunciate because they don't down there, which is kind of funny. Those are his words, not me. If you're from Columbia, South Carolina, I'm not.
There you go.
I'm not offending you.
Upset at us.
Hey, I already got the continent of Africa pissed off at me. I don't need Columbia, South Carolina pissed at me too.
Columbia people can afford podcasts.
They can afford the free podcast that we have. I did notice it seemed this way at first, that each brother progressively was getting dumber and dumber. But then that kind of ended with what's his face? The guy who let the guy who let Lincoln get shot because he had to go take a poo.
Sounds like something Lejeune would do.
Luke Wilson, that's who it was. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He could hold his breath for 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah, that was very handy. It's a good thing no one saw him go underwater.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, they showed on camera.
Oh, for some reason I didn't catch that part.
You were
at the moment they walked
you
up.
were
He
too
went
busy
underwater.
rolling your eyes at what was happening on TV.
Okay.
You're too busy going, of course bad guys have to show up while they're in the water. Anyway. That's it, right? Yeah, that's all I have.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Please.
Nick Nolte. Like, I literally was wondering if he was going to make it through this film. Like,
he looked awful.
He sounded awful. He looked awful. Like, I asked my wife. I said, "Have you seen this?" And I thought, has he like had a stroke that we didn't know about, or what's going on with him? Because it's real bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was bad. Did you guys? Did you see the betrayal coming? The double cross?
Actually, I didn't.
I kind of did. I think once the guys left the first time, I was like,
yeah, that seems too easy.
Yeah.
Like, if you have Danny Trejo in your movie, he has to kill or be killed by somebody. Like, I felt that was too easy. I didn't necessarily see the dad being a bad guy, but I kind of thought that he was going to not be the good guy. Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to think. Did we do Maverick for this? Yeah, we did Maverick. You know how his dad, at the end of the movie, spoiler, steals the money, but then eventually shows up with the money? I kind of thought that was going to happen, only he wasn't going to show back up. Like, he was just going to take the money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I didn't quite expect double cross murder revenge thing happening. I didn't see that, but anyway. And every time I see John Lovitz, it makes me laugh because of the movie Road Trip, because of the movie
Rat Race.
Rat Race. My gosh, that movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you need to see it.
Rat Race is ridiculous, dude. John Cleese with his weird fake teeth and
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, who has narcolepsy, and it's a remake of an old, like, 50s or something like that movie called Rat Race. But
Cannonball Run?
No. Seth Green is in it. Seth Green has one of my favorite lines in the movie where he's talking to his brother about he says, "I'm not going to give up, and neither are you, and neither am I." Just like, that's the kind of movie this is, Anyway.
Have you seen this room? Look at this room.
This Mr. Bean is so great. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And then he falls asleep at the end. Amy, what's the hot blonde from Road Trip? She's in it too.
Oh, Amy Smart.
Amy Smart.
Oh, nice.
She's in it.
Yeah.
And the dude from Road Trip is in it too. The guy that she bangs, who oddly in this movie she ends up banging. And she attacks a guy with a helicopter, which is kind of funny. And anyway, it's a silly movie, Sam. You need to watch it. I don't know if it's streaming, but if it is, that's one, Sam, when you look at the bills of this past weekend, that's a movie you need to watch to kind of like take an hour and 45 minutes to
that would be
to forget some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Smash Mouth being in the movie. Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg's in it too. It's funny movie. Go watch it. John Cleese.
No, I won't.
My bills have not yet.
Yeah.
Added up.
I'm sorry, pal. But if you also need another escape, audible.com is a good escape. You can use Audible.
Really? What did you do there?
You can go to audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews and you can get a 30-day free trial and a free audiobook.
Holy smokes!
You can get a book about burrows or anything else you want there. It's very exciting. Go to audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews. I only captured or copied and pasted 2 pieces of trivia because there was only like 6.
There wasn't a whole lot, yeah.
Yeah. So the movie was initially to be produced by Sony and then Paramount, and then both studios passed on the project. Warner Brothers was in an advanced state of negotiations, but dropped it after Sandler signed a 4-picture deal with Netflix. Some of the alleged reasons, including Sandler's recent streak of box office duds, including That's My Boy, Blended, and Men, Women, and Children, which
I've never heard of.
I've never even heard of Blended. The box office failure of A Million Ways to Die in the West and fear of Sandler's Netflix contract would put the movie on hold for too long.
I hate to say it, I really did enjoy A Million Ways to Die.
So,
I liked it a whole lot better than this one.
I did, yeah. I thought it was very much put together a little better.
Yeah.
In terms of the bits, because that's, most comedy is all about the little bits that you would do. But
about the bits. I got nothing else.
No, that was great. Thank you, sir.
So,
anyway. Hey, is that our title of the episode?
About the bits?
All about the bits.
Well, why not? I can't think of anything better that it could be right now anyway. So,
much like watching this movie.
Right.
Have you met my burro?
I like the donkey. Oh, the burro was funny.
Or taco tree. That was a little racist.
Oh, I can't wait to find a taco tree. Yeah. Taco tree. Well, wasn't that what Taylor Lautner said or something like that? Like, because he was the one that was like,
oh,
what are tacos or something like that? And he's like, oh, they're great. They're full, this, and this. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to find a taco tree or something like that. I mean, it's the same joke that they did in WALL-E, right? With we're gonna grow plants and grow, apples and pizza. Like. Anyway, it's a bad joke. It was even bad in WALL-E, and I love that movie. So. Oh goodness. So, it was requested of us by one of us actually to add a new segment to the show, which I'm referring to, and I need a sound clip, so I'm going to call it the
Cornelius.
There you go.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, or actually, that's going to be called the.
Oh, the burro's going to be pissed.
There you go. I do need to find a I know what it's gonna be. You guys are gonna love it next week.
Okay.
It might have the words "brah" in there somewhere. So I'm gonna say.
Oh.
All right, brah.
Anyway, it's a new called the recasting segment. If we could recast this movie, who would we do? And how? Now
let's get rid of Adam Sandler, number one.
Yeah, I think actually I'm okay with that idea.
Yeah. Let's Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, typically this idea would probably be more suited for movies that are sorry for the noise, or for more suited for movies that are older, than a few, 6 months ago, but or a few months ago, yeah. But I still think we could do it to a point in this movie, and frankly, the only recasting I would do would be Adam Sandler. I mean, honestly enough.
And you know who? You know the first person that pops to my mind?
Who's that?
Keanu Reeves.
Really? Can he do comedy?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't.
I mean,
but he doesn't really need to do comedy in this role.
He did The Replacements.
Yeah.
That's
I thought Bruce Willis.
But think about it. All right, so the way Sandler was
Bruce Willis, but
take
he's
that
got to be
away
native.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sandler's not native.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you're
Sure.
Jewish, you can be any type of ethnicity you want.
I think we go with Keanu Reeves. I can see that. My father died.
Because he could play it
I
flat.
can see that.
Yeah, and we'd expect it to be a flat character.
Yeah, but all of the
And he would probably do great at that.
But all of the colorful things happening around you, I kind of feel like your lead needs to be something. You know what I'm saying? Like the lead still needs to be funny. I don't know. How about this? How about this for a casting thing? We flip the characters. We make Rob Schneider the lead, and we make Adam Sandler the Mexican with the burro. You know,
But then we don't have
conversation.
Schneider as the Mexican.
I know.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
Well, we don't make Snyder as awesome.
Have him
We
play
give
two
him, like,
different
some
parts,
faults.
like the Parent Trap.
All right. Well, but they already kind of did that. I mean, Adam Sandler's already done that with the Jack and Jill and stuff. I don't know. Who else? Well, but there are other kind of funny actors, and for all I know, there's some actual Native Americans who are humorous. I don't know how funny Adam Beach is, or how about? Oh, I know. Now he's Mexican, but he can still play native. What's his name? Michael Pena, who was the friend from
There you go.
From Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's funny. Like I think.
And then he would have to tell the story though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So my dad came up and knocked on my mom. See.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some bomb art.
Yeah. And I'm more like centralistic. But this was anyway. It was. I
Focus.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, that movie's.
I'm on board with that.
Michael Pena. I like that idea. We'll get his agent on the phone.
Yeah.
Or on Twitter. I can do the Twitter thing.
That would be even more funny since Rob Schneider would be the Mexican and he would be
the
Indian.
And so the bit where he's like, "My mother's Swedish," and then you just see Michael Pena go, "What?"
Right. I was like, other things that annoyed me was stuff like how Adam Sandler would use modern vernacular. Like, man. Like they didn't say that then. But he was the only one playing it straight, other than when he turned himself into a tumbleweed.
Which is weird,
Yeah.
but then hilarious when Herm tried to do it later.
No, Herm.
Yeah,
Herm, come back.
Yeah, you're not a tumbleweed, Herm. We can still see you. Which, how did he know that he could do that? He was in the house.
I was gonna be like, how the hell did he know that happened?
He was in the house strangling John Lovitz or somebody. So dumb.
Oh yeah,
So dumb.
You.
But yet we're laughing about it, and isn't that the point of this movie? Is to laugh.
I don't know. And this might have been one of those movies where if the four of us had sat down and watched it, we would have had more fun with it.
I don't think so.
There was too many dead points. We were all kind of
Yeah, but I think the dead points, then we could be making fun of each other or something. I don't know. Like at that point, I could have thrown something at Sam or something. Who knows? I don't know. I feel like we had to have been in the same room, not just like watching it over Skype. Because even during that point, Sam, I'd been like, "Told you baseball sucks," and then we would have gotten into an argument about baseball.
Yeah, about how better of a sport it is than basketball.
You can go straight to hell.
Exactly.
I mean,
100%. Yeah. Go back to the North, Yankee. That's all I have to say about that.
We don't want your kind around here.
That's right.
Business teachers.
Was that the kind we don't like around here?
That is the line I draw in the sand.
We shall have no more of that.
So all right. So there you go. That's going to be our new thing. Is that kind of recasting segment? We might not spend as much time on as we did this time, but maybe one character or a bunch of characters or whatever. And we'll do that. We'll kind of keep doing that for a while unless someone tells us to stop, which I don't know who that would be. Jen, yeah. our first.
Where the hell's
listener.
my rom-com? Sorry, Jim.
Sorry, Jim.
Sorry. Oh, actually, I can't wait till we do this with a rom-com because, man, we're going to mess it up.
Yeah, probably.
Like, you should watch this rom-com, but not this one.
Not this one because we're going to mess this one up. Thank you for the Bad Boys 2 reference. Soundtrack grade, I gave this thing NW for nondescript Western.
Yeah.
Basically, they just took themes from Aaron Copland's Rodeo and just
modified it a little bit, and then.
And truth be told, I make that as a joke. That's in the trivia. Like they took themes.
They actually did that.
They actually took themes from the Rodeo and then just made it into the movie. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they're not only stealing jokes and bits, but they're stealing music. So good job. But you'll be happy to know that I don't think this movie cost a lot. I'm trying to remember.
I would hope not.
Wow. Why?
Molly.
So that was you, Sam.
I kind of did too. And my microphone just like dropped 6 inches. I just got freaked out.
You just dropped the mic? Nice.
Yeah, it did a mic drop. It doesn't say. I can't find it. It doesn't matter. I like on the message board, the first one is somebody stop Adam Sandler. That's funny. He must be stopped.
My sentiments is
I haven't looked at the director. I don't know who this guy is. Is he someone that we've seen before? He did Blended, Zookeeper, Here Comes the Boom, Click, Around the World in 80 Days, The Water Boy, The Wedding Singer. So The Wedding Singer is actually pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
As well as Waterboy.
See, here's the thing I like about The Wedding Singer, and Wedding Singer does a thing that I like that when movies do this, mainly when they're comedies, but even not comedies. When movies that are filmed, that was filmed in 98, but it's set, you go in the past just a little bit, and they make slight little jokes at the future, right? So like when his ex-fiance comes back and she's there wearing a Van Halen t-shirt, and he says, "Take off my Van Halen t-shirt before they break up," or before you jinx it and they break up. Like that's funny, but like, so I like those kind of little things. And they did that in this movie, but less to an extent. Like the General Custer thing is like, you let me worry about the Indians. I'll take care of them. Or my barber, he's going to scout me. Like those kind of little moments. Like, first of all, you kind of have to know history to get the joke that Custer was killed by, Indians, Native Americans, horribly. So anyway, whatever. So Frank, whatever your name is, basically you exist because you and Adam Sandler are pals. That's pretty much it. Oh, Blended is that Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore thing. Okay. That's like their third one together.
That's right.
I'm surprised.
Oh, is this one where they both have kids and...
Yeah, and they go to Africa or something.
Oh, yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Even my wife, who is a rom-com, I wouldn't say fanatic, but maybe like aficionado, was like, that doesn't look very good. Like 50 First Dates is actually a pretty good movie, and we like that one. It's a rom-com. It's pretty good. And the Wedding Singer.
You're giving Jen ideas. Stop.
I don't think it's streaming. That's okay. What did I learn? Somehow Adam Sandler keeps getting funding. That's what I learned.
Golding.
Golding. Why do I have 3 nipples? That song is going to be stuck in my head. Thank you, Andrew. So for
Daddy, you like to play with it sometimes.
Sure do, son.
Sure do, son.
That's why it's there.
Gross. Hey.
We decided to do for our top 3 farce movies. So my concept here is that this movie is a farce. It's making fun of Westerns and the idea of Westerns. And so I even wanted to make sure that what I was thinking of was right. I even looked up the word farce just to make sure that I was, in the word farce, noun, a light humorous play in which the plot depends upon a skillfully, this movie was not done skillfully, by the way, exploited situation rather than upon the development of a character. Again, no character development happened in this movie except when Rob Schneider learned that he wasn't in fact half Swedish. That's about the only character development we got. Oh, and when what's his name was able to let go of the fact that he sucked and the president died. Anyway, so that's kind of what the concept I'm going for is that like these movies that just kind of make fun of everything and things like that. So, Andrew, you're up.
All right. I may have missed the mark completely.
No, that's okay.
But I'm going to give it a whirl here. Honorable mention to Rat Race, and we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to add a musical in here.
Okay.
So The Producers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that counts.
Absolutely one of my favorite farcical films. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one either.
Very good. Very good movie. You should watch it.
Really?
Wes Anderson.
Is that? I was about to say that's one
Yeah.
of those weird.
Yeah, it's a Rafe Fiennes movie.
Yeah. And then
I thought it was Ralph.
No, it's Rafe. He's English.
I thought he was German.
No, he was German in Schindler's List.
No.
That's like
That would explain it.
That's like Alan Rickman. People just assume he's German because the first movie he played was a German in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sounds about the same, right?
And then tied for number one, all the vacation movies, minus, the newest one and the Vegas one. The three original.
You don't like the
I always
Vegas
like
one?
the Vegas one.
I'm not a fan of the Vegas one.
I kinda
Of
like the
course,
Vegas
Christmas Vacation tops the list for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good with those. Those are
Christmas is not complete without watching that.
That's right.
I just got to say.
I probably haven't watched that at Christmas in probably 10 years.
Wow.
It's just for some reason it's not a staple in this house.
Jelly of the Month Club.
We have like 17 other movies that we are required to watch by all red law for some reason, but that's not one of them.
Huh.
Yeah. Corny.
All right. So I'd like to give a honorable mention to one of the longest titles of all time. Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
All right.
All right. But my number 3 is going to be pretty much either two of the first Scream parodies, and I'm actually drawing a blank here.
A Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, yeah. Scary Movie
Okay.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm undecided. Number 2, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, yes.
And my number 1, and I almost want to watch it tonight, Super Troopers.
Oh, Super Troopers is so good. Meow? I'm sorry. Did you just say meow? No, I didn't meow. I don't want a liter. I don't want a large Farver. I want a liter of cola.
If you say shenanigans one more time, I'm going to pistol whip
I will
you.
pistol whip the next person that says shenanigans. Hey, Farver, what's that restaurant with all the clovers and Irish stuff? Oh, shenanigans. Here, use mine. That's good. Sam?
Yes.
All right. I've got coming in at number 3 a movie I haven't seen in a while, so I don't know if it holds up. Top Secret.
Oh, yeah.
One of the rare Val Kilmer movies that I actually like.
Yeah. Really?
Number 2.
Wait, hold on. Let's explore that for just half a second. You don't like Val Kilmer? Have we talked
No.
about that?
His teeth scare me.
Oh.
He ruined Batman
You're
for
right.
generations.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine.
You're dangerous.
But before he kind of got fat, he was good in The Saint. Have you ever seen that?
No, yeah, that one is good.
It just started streaming, and I kind of want to watch it. But I love
I don't
him in
think I've
Willow.
ever seen it.
I love
I
him
just
in
don't
Willow.
I just don't like his teeth. He reminds me of a badger.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Sam, you're such a jackass.
Yeah,
I know.
Burrow.
Sorry,
Number
you're right,
2.
Burrow.
Number 2.
Speaking of Burrow.
Number 2 is a recent movie, and I've fallen in love with Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. And number one, and I have hopes of a soon-to-be sequel, Spaceballs.
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, man. I forgot about that.
They announced it, actually.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if it's
very
real.
excited.
I never can tell with Mel Brooks if it's real or not.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I left. Okay, sorry. Continue, Sean.
But yeah. Were you going to say Blazing Saddles?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
I
Blazing
cannot.
Saddles. Yeah, there are so many honorable mentions that we could say that I love this genre.
Yeah, basically.
I changed my number one to Blazing Saddles. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. My number 3 is Airplane.
Oh yeah, good.
My number 2 was Spaceballs, but since Sam said it, then I will change it to Young Frankenstein.
I've never seen that one.
What?
Yeah.
You've never seen Young Frankenstein?
That's a movie of shame. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's impossible. How have you not seen it?
I have never seen it.
like that one actually kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, don't watch anything else until you watch Young Frankenstein.
My gosh, I hate that we would have to wait until next. I would hate that we have to wait until next October to do that for Halloween, but we gotta find a way to get you to watch that for this show, dude.
It's not like I don't want to watch it. I
understand. I understand. You just haven't. I mean, I'm the same way with a lot of other movies. It's not like I didn't want to watch The Godfather. I just haven't seen it, but. It's actually sitting on my bed behind me. I have a copy of it sitting on my bed, The Godfather. But
Godfather 2 is even better.
I will say this, Sam, truly and honestly, deeply, that Young Frankenstein is my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Really? Even over Producers or Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, it is. I just the jokes in that one to me are funnier for some reason. Frau Blucher, like that. I don't know. I like all of the jokes. The weird German police officer dude with his wooden arm. Like, I don't know. I like the jokes in that one better. Spaceballs has a particular place in my heart just because of sci-fi things that I like. But I really like Young Frankenstein. That's a staple at Halloween for us in our house.
Really?
Yeah. We watch that. We've watched that every year for the last 6 years for Halloween. In fact, for Halloween, Sarah bought it for me on DVD so we could watch it several years ago. And then my number 1, I didn't say, was Wrongfully Accused, which is my favorite Leslie Nielsen movie.
Oh, it's the
the Naked Guns. I forgot about the Naked Guns.
Yeah. So basically, Wrongfully Accused / all Leslie Nielsen movies ever made.
Yes.
I'm surprised it's just didn't say McHale's Navy.
It's funny, actually, Andy, as you were saying the phrase, I'm surprised you didn't say, another one popped in my head, which I actually am surprised I didn't come up with. UHF. How did I miss UHF? The Weird Al Yankovic movie, which I own on Blu-ray.
It's another one I've never seen.
Young Frankenstein needs to be before that one. I love UHF. It's a dumb movie, but Young Frankenstein's a better movie. But it still has Kramer in it, and he uses a mop like a lightsaber, which is kind of
before it becomes all racist and stuff.
Yeah, he did. Hey, guess what?
Hey, what's up?
If it's no Scottish, it's crap.
All right, we have.
I'm so excited.
Voicemail from Angry Scotsman, or when I say voicemail, it's a audio clip from Angry Scotsman. And just like the movie we just watched, this podcast is now going too long, but we'll wrap up with this. Here we go. Angry Scotsman.
I don't know, true Scotsman in the house.
Good evening, you bastards. It's I, the Angry Scotsman. Who in the right mind gave Chad the okay to leave the show? Chad was the best part of Cheapseat Reviews. I think back to all the times that I tuned in to listen, and to hear him speak... Well, no, I never heard him speak. Who's Chad again? I don't remember. Did he talk? Was he the one that was just breathing heavily in the microphone? It added a lot to the show, to be quite honest. Can I say this, though? I wish you the best of luck, Chad. And I know, speaking from personal experience, if you're breastfeeding a child, which you probably will do, once the teeth start to come in, take it off the tip, my friend, because I still have scars. And I know you have sensitive nipples. Put a little bit of Aquifer and maybe some Jergens on there after the feeding. And I promise you'll be fine, my friend. Enjoy. It will be a life-changing experience. You will not understand. You will not even think about eating Indian food ever again after you stare into shitty diapers every 45 minutes. Good luck, my friend. And for the rest of you, good night.
He didn't even mention the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh
my gosh.
There we go. No email this week. That's okay.
No.
We still love you, the listeners. But we do have something new.
What's that?
And I think it's going to work. So I'm just going to go ahead and broadcast it. If you would like to leave us a voicemail, an actual voicemail to say hi, or you love us, or you hate us, or you have a request for us, or hey, that time you guys were doing the movie Congo and Sean said something stupid. So if you want to call and leave a voicemail, the number is 704-271-4290. And you can leave a voicemail and we will play it on air. So if you just you know what, I don't ever send an email because I'm always in my car when I listen to the show and I just don't want to risk killing everyone on I-40 trying to send an email. You just feel free to just shoot us a call.
Because you're a wuss.
Yeah. You want to take life into your own hands.
Don't tell me how to live.
Well, I won't, but the federal government will. So again, that's 704-271-4290 is the number to call. And give us a call. We'll love to play it on the air. That's going to do it for us.
Well, we got to rank this thing.
Well, I mean, of course, after we rank the movie, of course.
Okay.
Out of 10 is what I meant to say is next. Damn, this episode's going long.
Real quick,
out of 10. Andrew, go.
4.
All right. Corny.
I'm going to give it a 5.
All right. We are mirroring last week's episode, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sam.
I've got to give it a reluctant 5, maybe.
All right. A reluctant 5 compared to a ridiculous 6.
Nice.
Reluctant 5.
Donkey move.
Just don't give it a hateful 8.
Yeah, no, that's something else.
It's a completely different movie.
I'm going to give it, I don't know, some of the jokes were kind of funny, and I had more fun with the podcast than the movie itself.
Absolutely.
So simply for the fact that I had a good time just talking about it, I'm going to give it 5.5 burrows out of 10. Where the half of the burrow went, I don't know, but
the burrow's going to be pieced
on the wall behind it.
Yeah, ugh.
All gross.
Yeah,
that thing did shit out like half.
The burrow's going to be pissed.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that was Andrew.
All right, so that's going to do it, right? Now I can play our outro
yes,
music?
I think we're good.
All right.
Let's light this candle.
Yeah, been trying to end the show for damn near. We're like freaking the Return of the King. We have like 7 endings in this podcast. Next week we are doing Three Kings, the war movie with the George Clooney and the Ice Cube and the Marky Mark. This will be like our second or third Marky Mark movie. I think second Marky Mark movie. Definitely be our first George Clooney movie.
Really? Out of over 100 movies? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, he does good movies, and we don't necessarily watch good movies all the time. So I don't think he's been in stuff. And we haven't seen Anaconda, so this will be our first Ice Cube movie. I know he's been in other movies other than Anaconda, but nothing that we would have seen again for this show. Anyway.
He keeps it classy.
If you want to see something really, really funny with Ice Cube, you need to go watch the Conan O'Brien thing with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart.
The driving.
The driver's ed scene is one of the funniest things I've seen on TV in a long time. So next week is The Three Kings. It's streaming. It is confirmed. We've got a bunch of good movies coming up in the future. So if you want to watch a movie along with us, or if you want to send us your request, cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. Anything that's on Netflix or Amazon will do. If you find something else you really want us to do, we could probably be talked into that. So I have now talked so long that the outro actually needs to be started over. So I'm gonna just do that. So
That's as cheap as it gets.
This really is.
Stay classy, San Diego.
I know. I'm sorry. So, damn it. Leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Cheapseatreviews.com is our website. Follow us at CheapseatCast. I am at Sean J. Allred, at Sinigi16, at Johnny Darko 16, and at A. Jimison as our Twitter handles. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/CheapseatReviews. And again, please send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. Now that I'm done, the music's not caught up to me yet, so I'll just say that on behalf of Andrew, Corny, Sam, this is Sean saying good night, and, be nice to your burros.